On the bat phone, we can say hi to Mr. Fangorn.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Mr. Fangorn, how you doing today? It's good to have you on the air. Happy Easter to you too. Hope you had a good Easter weekend. Did you? Was it filled with lots of wonderful Easter eggs and such in your household?
I had one piece of candy.
One piece of candy the last couple of days. I think I had like a bunch of Easter egg Skittles, I believe, courtesy of Lisa at my house, I think. So they were good. Well, it's good to have Mr. Fangorn because we are here because it is our next episode of Beat Mr. Fangorn and Dancing with the Stars. And of course, last week, Fang, you picked for the second week in a row, you picked the bunny, as we all know. And unfortunately, the bunny was not a good pick for you this past couple of weeks. Why did you, I guess last week, if I remember right, why did you pick the bunny last week?
It was Easter.
Easter, of course, and one thinks of the bunny, the importance of the bunny at Easter time. And of course, that made for a decent pick, but it was not to be, as Kendra is still on the show. And last night, matter of fact, I got to actually watch the show last night, and I won't give full details, but she wasn't bad last night. Surprisingly, not bad, not a bad episode. I won't tell you what place she got and stuff, but just to remind everybody of the last two picks. Of course, you've been beat by Miss Mia beat you in our first week, and last week we had Miss Lisa beat you this past week. And so last night, was there any chance that you saw the show last night, Mr. Fang?
There was an excellent house rerun on last night. I couldn't miss it.
Well, I was going to say, if it's like a house rerun, let me take a guess. I can give you basically the plot of a house show. He has arguments with the person that's over the hospital. He sends his minions out to do work. He does things the hospital doesn't want him to do. He takes some Vicodin in between, and the person gets cured of whatever the sickness was. Is that basically how it worked?
Yeah, but this was about smallpox. Very, very, very important episode.
Oh, wow, important to the plot episode. Well, last night, Dancing with the Stars had a couple of very important plots, I think.
But did any of them have smallpox?
Yes, that's right. Did you still remember that Hines Ward, of course, is on the show, right?
Yeah, who's Hines Ward again?
Hines Ward is one of the dancers. He's famous for being a football player. He played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's almost famous for something else. Do you remember that he's half something, nationality or ethnic-wise? Do you remember what he is?
Yeah, he's half Korean, okay.
That's right, he's half Korean. I've got a little question for you. Do you have a favorite Korean food by any chance?
Yeah, seaweed. Jen pays me in seaweed.
Oh, the seaweed from Jennifer, our executive producer. So what is it called that you said seaweed does that? Geem? It's called Geem?
Geem.
Oh, Geem with a Geem. A Geem. Okay, it sounds like we're going to play a Geem today, I think, on Dancing with the Stars, our thing here. So, what does it taste like, by the way? I've had seaweed a few times, like the chippy things. What does it taste like?
It's delicious. It's thickly salty, and it's got millions of different flavors all in there.
Oh, wow.
It's very, very good.
So how do you basically eat it? I mean, is it like, I've seen some of them are almost like potato chip snacks. How do you eat the particular brand of game that you eat?
You come in big sheets like sushi wrap.
Okay,
It's a lot in it, and then you just break it off pieces and eat it like chips or something.
Oh, wow, that sounds pretty good. I've actually had several folks that have had it before. You'll notice in the background, Fangorn, I've got a little music from a certain movie. I don't know if you recognize that movie by any chance?
I don't hear any movie.
Oh, well, that's right, because you're on the phone. Basically, I'm playing a little movie from some music from the movie that Forrest Gump. You might remember that from a few years back. So I was wondering, along that line, remember the character in that movie that was Forrest's friend. And he was talking about, I like butterfly shrimp, I like shrimp on a stick, I like all those different things. You could have, would you eat geem in a sandwich?
Sure, why not?
A geem ice cream?
Yeah, sure.
And maybe geem and peanut butter? Kind of like, Elvis had his something with peanut butter. You could have geem and peanut butter, maybe.
Oh, I gotta try that.
So do you know what is geem in Korean by any chance? Do you know what that is?
Geem.
It's geem. Game and Corey in his game. Well, let's get back to the show here a little bit. So last night there was some very good dances. Several dancers actually did very well with a couple of 10s. Well, do you know what's your strategy? We know last week your strategy was to pick the holiday coming out. What is your strategy for the pick that you're going to have today?
Didn't you say that there was a professional wrestler on that show?
Yes, there is a professional wrestler. It's Chris. Chris is his name, and he did his last night. Yeah.
You know who would be a good wrestler for that show? Chief J. Strombo. You remember him?
Oh, yes, I actually do. He used to wrestle here in Texas all the time. I remember he always came in like in a full headdress and stuff like that.
That guy could dance. That guy could dance. You just hit him in the head a couple times, he goes right into his war dance.
Yes, exactly.
That would make a good contestant on that show.
So we need to send that as a suggestion to him to get him to be a part of the show this next time. So, Fang, we've got kind of a reward for you this week. If by some chance you pull out the win this week, our good friend, our executive producer, Miss Jennifer Kim, is going to send you a shipment of games. So it's very important that you pick the winner this week, so you can actually get a prize this week. So, Mr. Fangorn, the big question is, who's going to get kicked off Dancing with the Stars this week?
Let's go for the wrestler.
Going for the wrestler.
That's very good.
So you're going for that the wrestler is going to be kicked off this week. I'll tell you, Fang, that's not a bad pick. I actually think you did pretty good this week. There was some question as to his movement in one section, and he had some of the lower scores last. We could see maybe you will get that fresh shipment of game from Jennifer, fresh from Korea this next week. Well, Fang, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing what happens on the show tomorrow night. And Mr. Fangorn, thanks as always. We look forward to seeing how it comes out.
Have a good week, James.
You too, Fang. Well, I want to welcome to the show one of our good friends here. Miss Spring is on the air. Good morning, Spring. How are you doing?
Morning, James. I'm doing great.
It's so good to have you on the air today. Those of you that don't know, Miss Spring is one of our regulars in our wonderful location in Second Life at the Tiki Bar there. Well, Spring, welcome to beat Mr. Fangorn at Dancing with the Stars. I assume that you heard his pick this week, right?
Yes, I did. First time.
Yeah, Mr. Fangorn went with the wrestler. Let me ask you about the weather there. And, we're having some real dry stuff here in Texas right now. What is it like there in wonderful Wisconsin right now, besides being a little cheesy?
It is pouring out.
We need some of that rain. I'm telling you, it's dry here, and I know it's finally not snow, though. Am I correct?
That's true, but I'm afraid that we're probably going to flood out with the rain. I almost want the snow back, but at least we don't flood out with snow.
Yeah, it's funny because one always wishes for something different than what they have. So it's kind of like here, what's going to happen in Texas basically is we're praying for rain. Lord, send us rain, send us rain. And whenever that happens, we get one of those tropical storms that come through that sends us about 30 inches of rain. So, well, the pertinent question is, Spring, do you ever watch Dancing with the Stars?
No.
So you're just about as blind as Mr. Fangorn is then, I guess.
Yes, it's the blind leading the blind here today.
Yeah. Well, do you know the characters that are on the show right now pretty much?
Well, I vaguely picked them up from the website, so I have a few ideas. I know there's only a bunny that Zane doesn't like.
Yes, the bunny from one of the Playboy bunnies is on the show. I have to tell you, last night she did pretty good, actually. I'll kind of give you a hint. I wouldn't give Fangorn a little few hints, but the bunny did surprisingly well last night, and we found out that she surprisingly has fake boobs. Can you believe that? It's such a surprise. We have the wrestler, of course, that Mr. Fangorn picked to leave the show. It didn't do very well. We had Kirstie Alley from the show Cheers, who actually did pretty good last night. We had Romeo, amongst others. So who do you think is going to be kicked off Dancing with the Stars tonight, Spring?
Well, I want to get rid of Kirstie Alley. I really don't care for her.
No, you're kidding me. She's my favorite character.
Sorry.
I like her because she's so funny on the air, and she's always kidding all the innuendo like I never do all the time, so.
I don't see this show, so I don't see that part. I really should have consulted with my mom. She watches it all the time. And I wasn't able to call in because she'd still be on the phone.
Yes, exactly. So I was told by our executive producer that apparently there's either did I say there's a Playboy mansion in Wisconsin, or maybe she says there is a Playboy mansion in Wisconsin somewhere. So does Hef hang out in Wisconsin by any chance?
Oh, if there is, I'm not aware of it. I'll have to look into that. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, that'd be cool. I can see I'm going to avoid all the things that have to do with cheese. We'll just leave that to the side. So we wanted to discuss that. So, well, thanks so much for calling Spring. Again, Spring has said that Kirstie Alley is going to bite the dust. Yeah, Jennifer says the Playboy Club is in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. They even have a ski slope there. So
I heard of that. I just haven't been there.
We will see if who loses tonight on Dancing with the Stars. Again, Spring, thanks so much for calling. We will see. Do you want a shipment of game if you beat Mr. Fangorn? Or
Pardon, what was that?
I said, do you want a shipment of game if you beat Mr. Fangorn? So
Sure, my youngest would love it.
Okay, thanks so much, Spring. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.